credential like address or your phone number. If you need to exchange any information like that, we'll do it after I turn off the recordings. I also do a recording to the cloud. All right, today's date is August 5th, 2021. In Foard County, Texas, I call cause number 5018 in the interest of Richard Christian LeBeau IV. Does the state?
Ready, Your Honor.
All right. Present by audio and video is Laura Pauley. Are you ready to proceed, Ms. Pauley?
Yes, ma'am.
Also present by telephone, Richard LeBeau. Are you ready to proceed, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Kuntz is going to announce a partial agreement. If you both listen carefully, and then we'll have testimony and I'll make a decision on any other issue. Go ahead, Ms. Kuntz.
Your Honor, the state is requesting that we enter a temporary order today and come in a few months for a final. And it's my understanding that the parties are in agreement that Richard LeBeau is the father of the child on the case, Richard Christian LeBeau, and that he should be established as the legal father of the child. It's also my understanding the parties are in agreement to support being set in temporary orders based on a minimum wage. That there's not private health insurance available at a reasonable cost for the child at this time. So Ms. Polly would be responsible for applying for a government health plan for the child. Mr. LeBeau would be responsible for monthly medical support of $57 per month beginning September 1st, 2021. And current and guideline child support based on a minimum wage presumption of $216 per month, also beginning September 1st, 2021. And we're needing the court's determination as to all other issues before the court.
Retroactive support, I typically don't do in temporary orders, but we can do visitation and possession. Is that the remaining issue?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. LeBeau, I want to instruct you that they have filed this as a paternity. That means you can request DNA testing if you want it. It is free, and we can get the results back within about a month or 6 weeks. If you decide, Mr. LeBeau, that you do not want DNA testing at this time, it's possible that you may never get DNA testing that the court will recognize. You need to know it's kind of a now or never situation, at least according to Texas law. Do you think you want DNA testing?
I mean, do you think I should? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. You need to speak up. I can't hear you, sir.
Do you think it'd be better in front of the judge? Or, I mean, he's my son, no matter what. But I just don't know how the court system works. If I should get because y'all, it sounds like it's important. Y'all keep saying about the blood test, but I don't know if I should or what. I mean, I don't want one.
Okay, it's totally up to your choice. I mention it because if something happens later, maybe 10 years, it may be too late to get DNA testing. The other thing is sometimes I find that families pressure the parties to get DNA testing done, or friends might make a comment, things like that. But it's totally up to you, Mr. LeBeau.
I know that's my son.
All right. Then we're going to waive DNA testing for and proceed to hearing on. All right. I'm going to ask you both to take turns testifying. Ms. Kuntz is going to ask you questions, and we'll get the other issues set up. Go ahead, Ms. Coons. You may call your first witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Laura Polly.
Ms. Polly, would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Coons, go ahead.
Ma'am, what is your full name?
Laura Ann Polly.
And what is the full name of your child on the case?
Richard Christian LeBeau the fourth.
And what is your son's date of birth?
5/25/17. 2017.
And did you hear and understand the agreed terms that I announced to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that in fact represent your agreement today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you believe it's in your son Richard's best interest for the court to approve that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have concerns with your address and other identifying information being in the court order?
Yes, ma'am.
And will you please tell the court a little bit about the reasons for your concern?
In the past, Richard and I there was kind of some some fights where he put his hands on me in front of the children. The drinking, the drugs, I just seem it's not the best interest in my child to be around, and I don't want him showing up at my house.
Okay. And when I believe you are you indicating that Mr. LeBeau was physically violent towards you?
Yes, ma'am.
And when approximately did that last incident of physical violence occur?
Last year, sometime in the beginning of the summer. I'm not too sure of the exact dates. That was the last I've seen of him.
Okay. And were the police called?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any protective orders?
I do have a stay away order in Foard County that he is not allowed to come on my premises. But from my understanding with them, the sheriff said that it can't be active until he crosses the county lines. Once he crosses the county's line, it is active, and he will. The first time he comes on my property, he'll be asked to leave. If he doesn't, he'll get arrested.
Okay.
Does that order address any type of visitation with Richard, the little boy?
No, ma'am.
Okay. It's totally related to your physical property. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Kuntz.
Okay. And do you have concerns with regards to visitation?
I'd rather we meet in a public place for visitation, and it be supervised until I know for sure I can know that, he is clean and working on to do better for himself before I let my child go with him. But supervised visits is fine with me.
Okay. And do you believe that there would be potential for physical or emotional harm if the child had unsupervised visits with his father at this time?
I know he wouldn't harm him. He's really good with him. more or less what I'm more concerned on is the drinking and driving and doing drugs and stuff like that. And I just seen that if, he has a mixture of both or just doing them, he can act out and my child could be in the crossfire basically. And I don't want anything to happen to him.
Okay.
Do you have any family in Foard County that gets along with Mr. LeBeau?
I do not have any family, actually. We moved out here when he was working. So I just have friends out here, honestly.
Okay. Do you get along with any members of his family?
I do. I actually just came back from vacation from staying with one of them, and I seen his aunt too.
And who did you visit?
I visit Shyla,
And
and then I seen him. That's his cousin.
Okay,
We stayed at her house while we were there, and then we also seen his aunt Gloria, and we also stayed over there too during our time.
And where do they live?
His aunt lives in Evangeline Parish, which is in Louisiana, and then his cousin lives in, I don't know how for sure to say this, but Ponchatoula. There you go. She lives in Ponchatoula.
So they're both in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Kuntz. I'm sorry for the interruption.
Is there a location that would work well for you, Miss Polly, as far as any visitation that were to take place?
I can meet him in Wichita's at McDonald's if it seems fit. No obligation.
Would the McDonald's at 3103 Boulevard in Wichita Falls, Texas be a good location for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And what type of schedule would you be proposing for the visitation?
I'm off every other weekend. So this month I would be off the 14th and the 28th, but my son is actually going to be having circumcision surgery on the 27th. So I will be in Fort Worth. We'll be out of town that weekend.
Well, why do we have a...
Okay, just a minute, Mr. LeBeau. You'll get
Yes, ma'am.
questions in a minute. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Kuntz.
Okay, and what time frame would you like the visits to be if the court were to order some visitation on the weekend?
12 to 2 is fine with me.
Are you talking about Saturdays?
Oh, sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you would be asking for that to be every other Saturday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else you believe the court needs to hear from you about any concerns you have or anything else relevant to what the court may need to order in terms of visitation or sharing rights and responsibilities with Mr. LeBeau for your child?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Polly, if I decide to order supervise, supervise.
I could stay there with him. I have no problem with that. And I do have other children, so I can rearrange for my children to be with someone else.
Okay. And where does Mr. LeBeau live, to your knowledge?
From my understanding, he lives in Decatur.
Okay. All right. Mr. LeBeau, do you have any questions you want to ask her?
Yes, McDonald's isn't a really good place to spend time with my son because he's going to be eating
Okay,
chicken
I'm
nuggets
gonna
and
get,
mayonnaise.
I'm gonna get your, Mr. LeBeau, I'm gonna get your suggestions in just a minute when you testify. Okay, do you have questions you want to ask Ms. Pauley?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. What happened to him? Why is he having to go to surgery?
She indicated he's scheduled to be circumcised.
Right, but you don't have to be circumcised to live. Well, something must be wrong with his thing to be having to get it cut off. Is it infected? Is it?
It's just not pulling back like it's supposed to, and it's can increase infections. So I just figured I'd just get it out the way. That way he doesn't have to go through that.
Right. What about Kason? He's all right, huh?
Yes.
I know he ain't been circumcised.
Your Honor, I've
Yes.
checked the questions about.
We're not gonna argue about this right now. You got your answer, Mr. LeBeau. Okay, Ms. Coons, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Richard LeBeau.
Mr. LeBeau, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Oh.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. LeBeau, what do you believe is in your son Richard's best interest as far as sharing rights and responsibilities for him in visitation with you?
You know, for one thing, if I could take a drug test, if that would help. I've been staying sober for 3 months.
Congratulations.
Sober, so thank you. And right now I'm trying to get on the right medication because I've been depressed lately. And
What do you take medication for, Mr. LeBeau?
depression.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms.
And
Coons.
I don't know. I don't really have any concerns. I don't know what to say or do right now.
What are you requesting from the court with regards to spending time with Richard, your son?
I'm trying to get whatever I can. I mean, like, his mom's doing a great job taking care of him and everything, so I just want him to not forget me, you know?
Okay.
When was the last time you saw little Richard?
Video called him last week, but I haven't seen him all year.
Okay. You showed him last week, and did you just happen to see him there? Is that what, or
No,
did
I
you?
video called.
Okay. Okay, but physically you have not been with him for a year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How often do you video call?
I can't video call. Not supposed to.
Was last time the only, or
That was a fluke. I got lucky on that one. That was God did that for me. Because nobody talks to me over there. Nobody contacts me. Nobody tells me nothing. I don't even know if my son's dead or alive over there.
Okay, so that's the only video call you've done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, have your wish, Mr. LeBeau? What would you have me do for visitation?
Well, guess you just do like Laura said, take little baby steps. So, guess I'll see him on a Saturday.
Okay.
Take what I can get. But I want to see him. I want to see him every weekend if I could.
Okay. Are you working?
And during the summertime and maybe some holiday time.
Are you working?
I worked last week. This week I didn't work. I've been I'm in this program right now. I'm trying to get help so I can get right for my children.
Okay, is it what type of, is it a halfway house? Is it Texas workforce?
It's a
What is it?
hospital. It's a hospital.
Okay. Your work
But I might.
involves, go
I
ahead,
haven't
sir.
decided. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do when I get out. If I'm gonna go back, but I know Lord needs the money, so I need to go back to work. But they have this program, but it's for a year long. It's supposed to help, people like me. It's called the Refuge.
Is
But
that
it's
the
just
state
God-
mental
it's just
hospital,
God-
or is it, what hospital is it through?
It's what, the one I'm at now, or the
Yeah.
one that I'm gonna Wise. What's the name of it? Yeah, Wise Health System.
Okay, okay. Does it involve any weekends?
What was that?
Does your work involve any weekends, Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, I work on the ranch on the weekends, but I don't have to. I just do that to help out the church.
Okay. Do you have church activities on Sundays or other days of the week?
Yeah, I have church on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays. I go to Celebrate Recovery on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I go to the service on Sunday.
Okay. Miss Polly, do you have any church activities on the weekends or during the week?
I try to be able to go to church since I'm only off every other weekend.
But does it involve Wednesdays or Thursdays ever?
Once a month, they pick a day out of the month to do where a few churches get together and we do like singing and we eat and everything and just visit with everybody.
And what day of the week is that normally on?
Usually it's on either a Wednesday or Thursday. I'm just not too sure. They usually just pick a day that's best for everybody and they kind of just do that.
Okay. All right, Mr. LeBeau, it's still your turn. Anything else you want to tell me?
Yeah, can I call them every day?
I'm going to make a
Could
decision
that be
about
part of
that.
the visitation?
I'm going to make a decision about that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else for you?
No, ma'am. Whenever I start back working, I'll let y'all know so y'all can decide how much to give her, cause $216 ain't gonna be enough. But I'm not working right now. I'll let y'all know what happens whenever I get out.
Right, and I assume that's why we're doing a temporary order, and then we'll look at it a couple months down the road and see how you are doing and how little Richard is doing and how Miss Polly is doing.
If she needs anything, she can ask me. I'll give it to her.
Okay, well, we're going to start child support, and that is paid through the courts. Now, please don't pay her cash any other way except by mailing it to San Antonio. We do want you to get credit for it, okay?
Right.
All right. All right, Ms. Coons, closing.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court approve the parties' agreement as to the current support for $216 per month for current child support beginning September 1st and $57 per month for current medical support also beginning September 1st, 2021. We do request a non-disclosure finding for Ms. Polly and the child address and other identifying information. And just the court's determination as to what's in the child address for conservatorship and possession and access.
All right, based on the testimony and evidence, then I'm granting the requested relief. I'm approving, first of all, the agreement that you've made about current child support. I'm appointing Ms. Polly I do find that there's been a history of domestic violence. I am appointing Ms. Polly as a temporary managing conservator and Mr. LeBove as a temporary possessory conservator. As to the visitation, I'm ordering visits on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the month from 2 to 5. And they are to occur at the McDonald's in Wichita Falls at the 3003 Boulevard address from 2 to 5. They're to be supervised by Ms. Polly, some other adult that she chooses. Okay. After those 5 visits, then, I'm going to continue the Saturday visits without supervision from 1 to 5, with the exchange to take place at the Wichita Falls McDonald's. I'm also ordering telephone access, either telephone or electronic or video calls or Skype or however you can arrange it, Mr. LeBove. Every Thursday, every single Thursday night, 7 to 8 p.m.
So, call them. So, can you repeat that? I'm sorry. It was kind of staticky. I want to make
Every
sure.
Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m.
What? That's the only time I can call him? Is that
Yes,
what you said?
Polly, Ms. Polly will have him available at 7 o'clock to visit with you. He is only 4 years old, so he's not going to carry on too long a conversation, but it will help
right.
establish rapport. Now, Mr. LeBove, I want to prepare you for the fact that he may have forgotten you already if it's been a year since you've seen him, for whatever reason. Little ones need constant contact at the beginning. So don't be upset if he doesn't remember at the beginning, because the video call is a good way to get him, refamiliarize him with you. Okay, is there any other relief I need to address?
I have a few questions, if possible.
Let me ask Ms. Coons first. Any other relief?
As to the request for non-disclosure funding,
Granted.
granted, thank you.
All right, Ms. Polly.
Yes, ma'am. I'm only off every other weekend and I work till 3.
Now, the first thing it says is that you can make arrangements between the two of you, however you can work it out. But I cannot order every other weekend because that's unenforceable. Nobody would know which is your weekend. So what I'm doing is I'm saying 1st, 3rd, and 5th, starting in September. Now, the first weekend is going to be Saturday, the 4th. I don't know if you're working that day or not, but if you are working and Mr. LeBove can make other arrangements, that would be great. You'll be responsible to work it out yourself. But I need to make the order so that somebody on the outside can look at the calendar and see, is it his weekend or is it not? And the only way to do that is to say like 1st, 3rd, and 5th.
Okay, you had said from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
That's
Is that
correct.
Okay, after the first 5 weekends, it was kind of staticky, so I got like bits and pieces of it.
Then it's going to be 1 to 5 and unsupervised.
And it's the same every other
his
weekend.
daddy can take him away from the McDonald's to a park or to something fun for kids or whatever he wants, as long as at 5 o'clock he returns him back to the McDonald's where you will be waiting, or some other adult will be waiting for him. It doesn't have to be you, Miss Polly. In fact, I would prefer if you can come up with some other adult. I don't want you to be there because I feel like there's a potential for danger for you personally. But if you need supervision and you're the only person that can do it, that's what I'm ordering.
Yes, ma'am. After the first 5 weeks, the 1 to 5 p.m., is that going to be the 1st, 3rd, and 5th of the week?
Yes.
Okay.
1st, 3rd, and 5th Saturdays. And once we come back to make this order final, we'll see how things have gone and evaluate other visitations schedules, okay? Now, Mr. LeBeau, do you understand that it says
Yes, ma'am.
the first thing your visitation order is going to say is that if you two can work things out yourselves, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, ma'am. So I need to be good and make sure everything goes right.
So Ms. Polly might prefer to have it on a certain Saturday. If you can work that out, great.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Whenever, whatever.
So
no
the
problem.
one thing I'm going to need from both of you is a contact phone number where if there's an emergency or you're just running late or you can't come visit or you need to set up a certain visitation on a Saturday, Ms. Polly, you can get a hold of Mr. LeBeau and he can get a hold of you. It does not have to be your personal phone number, but it needs to be somebody's phone number where you get the message to you.
Yes, ma'am. He recently contacted me through Facebook as the reason why he video chatted with his son last week. I'm fine with through Facebook Messenger where he can contact me.
Does that work for you, Mr. LeBeau?
That's perfect.
All right. Then the emergency contact will be through Facebook Messenger. I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, me too.
On a PM. Okay, Ms. Coons is going to prepare that order for my signature. I'm going to sign off on it. Ms. Coons, what is your idea for when we come back to finalize this order?
Would you want to take a look at it in November or December, or I'm not sure.
About how long do you think? Mr. LeBeau, when do you think you'll be released from the program you're in right now?
Probably Monday.
Super.
Yeah, it's a 2-week program. They just, keep you in a close eye on you, and they medicate you and figure out what works and what don't. And my medicine's been working really good, so I should be out of here probably Monday.
How about Thursday, October 7th?
What? For what?
To get back the same way we're doing right now. And here, I want to hear from you both about how visitation has gone, and then we'll make a final order, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. I thought you said I couldn't call until the 7th. All right, thank you.
Hold on, sir.
I'm not hanging up.
No, don't hang up. Okay. So I will talk to you all on, and Ms. Coons is going to prepare the temporary order for my signature. You should get a copy of it within about 2 weeks. If you don't get a copy, call the Wichita Falls AG's office and remind them to send you one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Coons, do we need anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, good luck to you all and good luck to your little Richard.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I
Thank
want to
you.
thank you so much.
Well,
appreciate
you're
y'all.
welcome. Thank you both for helping me get some ideas on what to do. We'll talk to you again in October, all right?
Yes, ma'am. October 7th.
Bye-bye.
Bye.